Hello and welcome to Learn Yourself. Today we are going to study about three different states of matter and their characteristic about shape, volume, rigidness, compressibility and so many more things. This topic is under CBSE Standard 9 from the chapter number 1. So let us first understand that how solid will behave for their shape, volume, compressibility and rigidness. All this characteristic is basically depending upon how much space is there in between two particles of solid, and similarly for liquid and gas. How much space is there in interparticle of matter, how much attraction they are observing in between the two particles. All these things do matter when we are talking about their shape, volume and compressibility. So let us recall our previous knowledge and define this. So solid, when we are talking about shape. So now I am going to take the shape first for the solid, liquid and gas. So we will get comparison also that why solid is like this, why liquid is like this. If you have any doubt regarding the structure of solid, liquid and gas, their interparticulate space, their force of attraction, then please do check my previous video and the link has been given in the description. So first we are talking about the shape. So for solid, the shape is definite. Definite means a fixed shape and we cannot change it. For example, marker, a scale, a pencil, you cannot change a shape. We are not talking about the breaking a thing. So they have a definite and fixed shape. Then about liquid. Liquid do not have any fixed shape because in whatever bottle or vessel we will fill the liquid, it will take the shape of that vessel or that bottle. So they do not have fixed shape. Then gas. Obviously gas also do not have fixed shape. Then we are talking about volume. Volume means the space occupied by a matter. So yes, solid has a definite shape. Solid has a definite volume. Then we are talking about liquid. Liquid do have definite volume. Why? Because if there is a 500 ml of liquid, then you cannot accommodate that into 200 ml of bottle. You need to have 500 ml and it will occupy space. So that means it has a definite volume. But gas, it doesn't have definite volume because you can compress it. When you are filling air into a balloon, you can compress the balloon, right? Not more than one extent, but yes, we can compress, so we can change its volume. So it doesn't have fixed volume. Now compressibility. Compressibility means if you are applying pressure, then it will become compact or not. So compressibility, no. Solid cannot be compressible because there is no space. How and why we can compress a matter? If there is a space between two particles, then only we can compress. If there is a space, for example, these are the particles, there is a space in between them. So they can come together when you are applying the pressure. But if there is a no space, for example solid, there is no space in between them. So there is no compressibility. A little space is there, so there is a little compressibility in liquid. But gaseous atoms are maximum compressible because they have maximum space in between them. Then we are talking about rigidness. What is the meaning of rigidness? When you are applying a pressure more than one extent, they will break. They will tend to break. So yes, they are rigid. If you will bend a pencil, after some extent it will break. So solid are rigid, liquid, they are not rigid because they are compressible, and gaseous, definitely no, they are not at all rigid. So all this specific characteristic based on the shape, volume, compressibility and rigidness will be helpful for us in giving the answers for the reason. Now going towards our next topic, in which we are discussing solid, liquid and gas separately. We will talk about some exceptional cases like rubber band, sponge and all. So stay tuned. If you feel that this video is helpful in your learning and it has cleared your doubt, please give us a like. If you have any doubt, please share with us in a comment box and don't forget to subscribe. So let us first talk about solid. We have seen that it has fixed shape, fixed volume, they are rigid and they are non-compressible. Now we are talking about some exceptional cases, that is rubber band, crystal of sugar and sponge. So let us discuss one by one. So first we are discussing rubber band. So rubber band has elasticity. So whenever we are stretching it, we are applying force on it, it will extend. So can we say that even though the rubber band is a solid, it doesn't have fixed shape? No, it has a fixed shape because we know that this happens because of the elasticity remain into the rubber band. When we are applying the pressure, under the force of pressure, it may extend. But whenever we are removing a force, it will regain its shape. So rubber band is a solid and it has a fixed shape. Now second, crystal of sugar. Whenever we are filling certain amount of sugar in a vessel, it will take a shape of vessel. The crystal of sugar is in the shape of cube and it will remain same after we are filling into a specific jar or a vessel. It won't change. So crystal of sugar are solid, they have fixed shape, they have fixed volume. Even though we can feel whenever we are seeing a jar of sugar, that if it is a glass jar, then we can see that sugar has taken a shape of that glass jar. But in reality, it is not so that. Now we are talking about sponge. We all know that whenever we are compressing a sponge, then it will change a shape because there will be minute holes into a sponge. There is a gap in the sponge. So whenever we are applying a pressure, whenever we are compressing it, the air which is trapped in between those holes will come out. So we can compress it. After removal of the force, it will regain its original shape. So all this, at certain point of time we are feeling that they are changing its shape, but in reality no, they are not changing its shape. So all these are exceptional cases of solids which we feel that they might change their shape under special circumstances or while we are applying force. But after removal of force, they will regain its original shape. That will happen in the case of rubber band and sponge. And crystal of sugar, the original shape of sugar is cube and it won't change even after we are filling it into the vessel. So we cannot really say that they are changing its shape. Now we are talking about liquids. So we have seen that they do not have fixed shape, but they do have fixed volume. They are little compressible and they are non-rigid. So these are the characteristic property of liquids. Now we are discussing some special characteristic of liquid, that they can flow. So that's why they known as fluids. They are known as fluids because they can flow. Now we know that solids are tightly packed structures and gaseous are very free. Gaseous atoms are very free, that too they can move randomly. So The liquids are in between. They can flow. So that's why they are known as fluids. All the liquids are fluids. Now solid, liquid and gases can diffuse into liquid. We have seen this. What is the meaning of diffusion? Diffusion is one state's particle is mixing with another state's particle. That means if water is boiling, then this vapor is mixing with air. So water vapor is mixing with air. These are gaseous atom and these are liquid atoms. So they both are mixing. So this is known as diffusion. We have discussed this in my earlier video. I have given the link of that video in my description. So if you have any doubt regarding diffusion, please look into that. So this is diffusion. So solid, liquid, gases can diffuse into liquid. Now the most important characteristic of liquid is they do have spaces in between their particles. So if anything has to mix into another state, then it requires some space to fit into that. Earlier we have discussed the example of lemonade, that in water we are mixing sugar, salt, lemon, all these things we can add into a water and it is mixing well. Why? Because there is a gap in between water molecules, water particles. So all these particles, salt, sugar and lemon, will fit into those gaps. So what is the important thing here is it requires some space. Diffusion requires space in between the molecules. That means diffusion will be at a higher rate if the space is maximum. So in gaseous atoms, one gas will diffuse with another gas at maximum rate, with maximum speed, because they are having maximum space in between them. So solid, liquid and gas, all the three states can diffuse into liquid. You can dissolve solid into liquid. One liquid can mix into another liquid. Then the gas can diffuse into a water. What is an example of that? That oxygen, atmospheric oxygen can dissolve into a water. This is the reason why that aquatic animal do survive underwater. Which oxygen they are using for breathing? The dissolved oxygen. And how that oxygen has been dissolved into that? From the atmosphere. So, and which characteristic of water will help oxygen to dissolve into that? That intermolecular space between the particle. And that process is known as diffusion. So atmospheric oxygen diffuses into a water and aquatic animals take that oxygen for their survival. So because of this diffusion process of oxygen, atmospheric oxygen to a water, so that oxygen is available for aquatic animals. Now rate of diffusion of liquid is higher compared to rate of diffusion of solid. Obviously, because in between solid particles there is no gap, there is no space. If another particle wants to come and fit into that, there has to be some space, but there is no space. So, but in the liquid there is a space. So the rate of diffusion in liquid is higher compared to rate of diffusion of solid. So here all the three states can diffuse into liquid. Then atmospheric oxygen is diffusing into a water so that aquatic animal can breathe that oxygen, and rate of diffusion of liquid is higher than that of the rate of diffusion of solid. These are the three important points in liquid state. Let us now talk about gaseous state. Earlier we have seen that it doesn't have fixed shape, doesn't have fixed volume, but they are highly compressible and they are non-rigid. So first we are talking about its compressibility. Earlier we have discussed in case of solid and liquid that solid are very less compressible. Actually they are non-compressible, but liquid you can compress it, but gaseous atoms are highly compressible compared to liquid and solid. So the gases like which we are using, that is LPG, liquefied petroleum gas, and CNG, that is compressed natural gas. This kind of gases we can compress with high pressure and then we can fill it in a container. So the large volume of gas with the compressibility, by use of their high compressibility we are applying pressure, and high volume of gas we are making it minimal, and so that the transportation of those gases into a cylinder is very easy, because large volume we can fit into a small cylinder. So the large volume of gas can be compressed and fit into a small cylinder, and it make a transportation of this cylinder very easy. So which two gases we are maximum uses nowadays, that is LPG and CNG. LPG's full form is liquefied petroleum gas, the gas which we are using for cooking. Then CNG, that is compressed natural gas, which we are using in the transportation vehicle. Now the second point is hot cooked food, which we can smell very easily. When our mother is cooking something in the kitchen, that food's aroma we can smell in another room or outside the kitchen, and that smell is coming instantly, and it is very easy to reach till us. Why? Because the gaseous particles are moving randomly and they are in their highest energy level. So the aroma is coming along with the air particles, air molecules, and it will reach till us. Then gases diffuses at faster rate. Compared to solid and liquid, gaseous atoms have maximum space in between them. So gaseous atom will diffuse at maximum rate. Now we are talking about that the gaseous atom also can exert a pressure. For example, one balloon. We have filled that balloon with some air. As we are applying some pressure, it will changes its shape because it is compressible. But after some extent, if we are still applying some more pressure, then it will burst. Why that happened? Because the gaseous molecules are in a random movement and they will hit each other. While they are doing this random movement, they will hit each other with some force, and from there they will hit here, and then again they will travel to another gas atom, and there they will collide with each other, and they will exert some pressure onto each other. And when the same thing happens to the wall of the container, when they are collide with the wall of the container, they are exerting the same pressure to wall. So when we are applying so much pressure on the balloon, that movement becomes faster and more number of atoms, more number of gaseous particles will collide with the balloon wall, and that pressure balloon wall will not take it easily, its elasticity will not take up that much pressure, so it will burst out. So this pressure exerted by gas and that particles is per unit area on the container. We are counting that is per unit area, it is exerting this much force. So whenever we are filling any particular gas into a cylinder, we need to know, or we need to calculate that how much pressure it will exerted on the wall. Accordingly, we have to make that cylinder or that vessel that much thick. The wall of the container or the wall of the cylinder has to be that much thick, so it can withstand with this pressure of the gas. So it is very important that the pressure exerted by gas particle is per unit area on the wall of container. They are also exerting some pressure on the wall. So here the 4 points are important, that large volume of gas can be compressible, then hot cooked food aroma can reach till us within seconds or very easily, then gases diffuses at faster rate compared to solid and liquid. Then they are having random movement, they also exert some pressure on the wall of the container or in which you are filling into it. So in next video we will talk about, can matter change its state? We will talk about the interconversion of state of matter. If you feel that this video has helped you in your learning, has cleared your doubt and you are now confident in this topic, then please give us a like. And if you have any doubt, please do write us in a comment and don't forget to subscribe.